All right. Welcome, everybody. You're welcome to my channel. My name is Beno Real, and people call me Uncle Beno. And on this channel, we try to raise good men, high-valued men, especially African men, African American men, those who desire to seek guidance from some of the uncles out there who are willing to lend their 1 or 2 cents in areas that these guys might need help. So that's what we do here. I'm gonna be sharing some of my personal tips, and I'll be drawing from other uncles' tips on how you can be a good man, a great man, a well desirable man. And on today's episode, I want to speak about this very important topic, how to avoid fractured marriage. You know, when people get married, they get married for the right reasons. They obviously want to be in love, they want to have a good home, they want to raise their kids, you know. Both husband and wife envisage they're going to have a long lasting, successful marriage. But what we discovered lately is that many marriages are crashing left and right and center. And sometimes the couples can't even put their finger on the reason why their marriage crashes. And as a Nigerian man, I can tell you for free, the reason some marriages crashes is due to faulty foundation. And what I mean by faulty foundation is some couples found each other, they dated, caught each other, and they set a wedding day, do the traditional wedding, court wedding, or church wedding, as the case may be. And after 1 or 2 years, they saw their dream marriage come crashing down. And that is where faulty foundation comes in. So, what do we mean by faulty foundation? I'm going to give you an example. Now, this couple that I'm going to use as an example, I personally pray that God will uphold their marriage will be successful. But because the marriage is what is making rounds now on Nigerian social media space, I just quickly want to draw upon some of the things that can lead to faulty foundation in marriages. So there is this beautiful sister. She goes by the name Wofai Fada. I think she's an influencer. They say she's a restauranteur, or I don't know what they call it now. There are too many grammars flying all over the internet space now. But the bottom line is she owns her own restaurant. And with all due respect, she is a successful businesswoman. So the story is that she found love, she found the man of her dream, and the man of her dream happens to come from one of the popular family in Nigeria, especially specifically from Lagos State. It's called the Cole family. Those who are familiar with Nigeria State, Lagos State, they will know about the Cole family. So what happened was that they set a date for their traditional wedding. You know the way ladies do their stuff these days. She went on social media and posted everything about the traditional wedding. And what follows next was shocking. The father of the groom make a he posted a public disclaimer where he categorically stated that the Cole family had nothing to do with the wedding. And this is what the letter says. The letter says, wedding of Taiwo Olakitan Cole. Images and videos come to our attention showing our son Taiwo getting married to a Wofai Ewa. I think they got the name wrong. A Wofai Ewa in a traditional ceremony in Ugep, Cross River State. This serves to notify all acquaintances, family, and friends that the Cole family of Victoria Island, Lagos, are not aware of any marriage ceremony of our son Taiwo Olakitan Cole. Neither did we grant permission nor support in this regard. As such, persons parading themselves as new members of the Cole heritage by virtue of this purported event are not known nor accepted by the family. Any publications and documents using circulated or being circulated about these are to be disregarded. Engineer Kunle Cole for the family. All right. So, what you watch on my screen right now is the traditional wedding. You can see that this is one huge ceremony filled with culture and customs of the, is it Efik? Or let's just say the Calabar people's wedding. So, here is the problem. And this is where I want to step in as an uncle, even though I'm still relatively young as an uncle, but I'm still an uncle to anybody who is below the age of 40. So listen and listen good, my friends. You see, um, one of the things we notice nowadays that young men and ladies really don't grasp the full extent of their tradition. A lot of these folks nowadays, they just find each other and they get married traditionally without the tradition. That is mistake number one. When you get married to any lady or man and you did not seek elders to guide you on how to have a proper traditional wedding that encompasses the custom of the people involved, you already create a problem for your wedding. I will explain. You see, in Nigeria, weddings are between two families. Okay, especially traditional wedding in Nigeria, traditional wedding is believed to occur between two families. Marriage is a union between families and their ancestors, which is why many tribes have similar marriage customs. See, here are some examples of the significance of tradition in Nigerian marriages. So let me quickly break this down for you guys. During the wedding, first of all, there's going to be prostration if it's a Yoruba wedding. And that means during the wedding ceremony, the groom and his groommen lay face down at the feet of the bride's family as a sign of respect for raising his future wife. Okay. The groom also prostrates at the feet of his parent as a sign of respect. Now, in Nigeria tradition, there's going to be engagement ceremony, which is what you are watching on my screen earlier. Okay. The traditional engagement ceremony is like the highlight of the whole event. And the groom enters the ceremony with his groomsmen and formally asks both families for his hand in marriage and their blessing. This is where I want to come in and clarify to you guys. You see, we're going to see more and more fractured, faulty foundation marriages. And the reason for that is because there are so many divorces going on now, too many divorces here and there. And that means in the near future, we're going to have children from broken home getting married to children from another broken home. And the issues we now becomes, how do we perform our traditional marriage rights. These parents who are divorced, as you can see on social media, only about 10% of divorced parents comes together and support their children during traditional wedding and the church wedding. A lot of the parents have so much resentment towards each other that they will literally truncate their kids' wedding because of their selfish interests. There are some father that we insist that there is no way they're gonna be in the same venue with their son's mom or their daughter's mom. And there are some mother, especially those mothers who happen to raise their children all by themselves, they are going to stand their ground and said, hell no. Your dad was an absentee dad. He was never there. He has never done anything while I was raising you all by myself. And now that you're going to get married, he's not going to come around here and start flexing his muscle as if he did something. I don't know if you guys get where I'm going with this. What I'm trying to say here is that when you're getting married and you know your partner is from a broken home, you and your partner have to make sure you took your time, or you take your time rather, to plan the wedding, to do enough consultation, visit both sides of the parent. It doesn't matter if father or mother don't see eye for an eye, but for you, I'm going to talk to boys now. Let me just leave the girls alone for a while. I will talk to you as a boy. When you are getting married to a lady who is from a broken home, or maybe you as the boy, you are from a broken home, please and please listen to me. Consult your father, consult your mom, let them know this is your wedding, and they both have to put their differences aside and come together so you can have a beautiful wedding without any fracture or whatsoever. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? I will tell you why this is necessary. You see, if you are from Africa, especially from Nigeria, or you are marrying to a Nigerian person, the tradition rights in Nigeria is a must. I've seen people made a lot of mistakes. I live here in America. I've seen some parents give their children out in wedding traditionally without even consulting their families back home, without informing any of their family that, hey, my daughter is getting married, my son is getting married. They will just sit down, give the child out. I know we're in a modern era. This is modern day. Some of you will definitely say, Uncle Ben, why? No, family has nothing to do with this. You see, the reason I'm emphasizing this right now is because I am sick and tired of seeing young people getting married, and just 3, 4, 5 years after the marriage, after the wedding, their marriage crashes. And I'm telling you now, one of the major reasons such marriages crashed. So you need to perform a traditional rite. If you're a young boy, make sure you talk to your wife, you both calm down and approach your wedding with all seriousness. Ask your wife what's going on between your parents. Are they going to support this my wedding? And the girl should ask the boy too, what's happening? Will your parents support this wedding? Now, if there is any of the parents that are disgruntled and they are not fully in support, that is when you reach out to your uncles, your aunties, and ask them to step in. And at the point, you as the boy or man, you have to stand your feet and confront either of the parents that stood their ground that they're not going to be in support. You have to stand up and look them in the eyes and tell them, Mom, Dad, you are not in support of my happiness, because I don't have anything against you, and I don't believe you should have anything against me. My bride has nothing against you. All we're saying is we want to get married and we need your blessing. Whatever you have going on with my mom has nothing to do with me. Okay? Please, if you don't do this, that means You want me to have problem with you in the future? Sometimes you can threat them a little bit, give them some threatening so they can wake up from their slumber. Because I've seen this played out on multiple occasions where fathers will hold their children to ransom, especially when it comes to traditional weddings, and they'll be like, "Your mom did this, your mom insulted me so years back, your mom did that one," all kind of BS. You, the groom, is the one who want to protect yourself, you want to protect your wife, and you want to protect your future children, because tradition matters. So in the case of these Wofai issues now, who knows whatever has been going on, what we get to find out is that the parents of this boy are not together, or the man rather, the groom. The parents are not together. According to what we have on record, they have been divorced for over 20 years. And this man right here is said to be 30 years old. And that means for a better part of his childhood to adulthood, the parents are not together. So whatever made both parents to go their different ways, that is their problem. But what the boy should have done in this case is to have work around his dad to make sure his dad come on board. Okay. Now I'm gonna remove them from my screen, because the next part that I want to talk about now, it has nothing to do with their marriage, because like I said, I pray to the Almighty God that this is going to be a successful marriage. They will both have a happy home. Let me take them off so I can quickly run this up by emphasizing why it is important to get both parents on board. So there was this wedding, was privy to have knowledge of what happened. So it happens that the parents of the bride, they are not together. They've been divorced for as long as the children can remember. So when it was time for the lady to get married, um, the mother actually don't want the dad to have anything to do with the marriage. And the father also did not try. So the father was like, he never made any move to reconcile with his ex-wife as well as his children. He was standing on his ground that, you know what, when it's time for you guys to marry, I'm gonna see how you're gonna get married without consulting me. So what happened was that the sweet little girl, lady, found her love, and they went ahead and have their traditional wedding and their church wedding. And the wedding only lasted 8 months. 8 months. Immediately after the wedding, the husband lost his job. And he did not only lost his job, he caught a lawsuit from his work. The funniest part was he has nothing to do with the lawsuit. After losing his job, the wife was pregnant, which happens to be the daughter to the man who is resenting both mother and child here. She was pregnant, and they start having a lot of issues. By the time she gave birth, the baby was a special need baby. And the saving grace was that this lady, she lives in America. So there's one of his uncle in Nigeria that she used to at least give the uncle money, um, get in touch with the uncle. In fact, they were both in good terms. So when she described her predicament to the uncle told her, I think I know where your problem is coming from. When you got married, your father was not involved. No marital right was paid to your dad. And I think if you can beg your dad, there's going to be a solution. So the uncle made some effort, reach out to the dad, and the dad was like, no, how dare the mom? In fact, anytime anybody spoke about it with the dad don't even mention much of the daughter. All he kept yelling was, mother, her mother did this all by herself. Her mother want to try me. My children, it's my children. You can't give my children out in marriage without my consent. It's not done. They have not seen nothing yet. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, for we Africans, when somebody threatened that you haven't seen nothing yet, that's a big deal. To cut the long story short, the father insisted that even while the husband reached out to the dad, beg and everything, the dad said no. He caused the husband out, to the husband. He caused the husband down to his fourth generation. He said the boy was a fool. If you are not a fool, how dare you marry my daughter without reaching out to me? Who the heck do you think you are? You know, it was a mess. It was a mess. But people step in, the family step in, and they're like, look, you left these children when they were just kids, and now they are getting married and things are happening. They are home again. Now everybody thinks you are the one who is behind what is happening to them. And by he sworn by his late mom and dad, you know, his ancestors, that he has nothing to do to do with whatever is happening to his supposedly son-in-law and his daughter. But when the elder said, look, for you not to destroy the name of this family, you got to forgive these children and let everybody know you are not the one behind their issues. So, guess what the father asked for? The father said the mother must come and apologize to him for downgrading him, for thinking he was irrelevant. Now, I know this could be painful. This is a mother that raised children all by herself, for crying out loud. And now the father insisted the mom must apologize. So when they approached the mother too, she was like, hell no, it's not happening. The mother cried. But at the end of the day, you know, mothers will be mom, you know. At the end of the day, the mom succumbed. She agreed to apologize. So they bought some traditional stuff and take to the father. And the father now, both the lady and the husband, they both went to Nigeria, and then he gave them his blessing. Miraculously, because all this took like almost a year from the time the husband lost his job to the time the father finally agreed to give his blessing. It took like a year. Miraculously, the special need baby they have started getting better, started being active. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying here. Sometimes faulty foundation can fracture your marriage. There are people out here now who are struggling. They are still wondering what went wrong in my marriage. What exactly did I do wrong? When I find this man, we love each other. We were all over each other. We got married, and now we like sworn enemy. What happened? My advice is that don't create a situation that will come back and bite you later. When you want to get married, do the right thing. Do not underplay the role of tradition. We are all Christian. I'm a Christian. But even our Lord Jesus Christ said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Don't be one of those people who think modernization, westernization is above everything else. Mhm. Remember how long it took the white people to push African tradition away. And yet, There are some people who still believe in that tradition, especially older parents. So if you're about to get married, have a discussion with your partner. Make sure everybody who deserve to be consulted, they are all consulted. Ensure that everyone who should be present at your wedding, they are present, especially your parents. Do everything within your power to get your separated parents to put their differences apart and be on board for your wedding. All right. This is Uncle Beno, and I'll see you in the next one. If this is the first time you're watching this channel, please give us thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, leave your comment in the comment section so that I can read from you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now. Oh, man.